So tonight I would like to talk about Spirit of Eden, the album. I would like to speak about Spirit of Eden, the album by Tok Tok. I talked about I Believe in You in another video, but I never made a proper video for this album. I don't know why, because I absolutely love it. I didn't know it. I discovered it in last October, I think. Yeah, so it's going to make almost 1 year that I discovered it, and I wanted to listen to it again more deeply to see if I had the same feeling as at the beginning when I discovered it. And I even went back to read my review that I made on that I wrote on Amazon to see if I had the same feeling, if I had to rectify it, and it's exactly the same. What I wrote then, I could have written it today, except that I discovered more things, because of course now I start really to know the album better, and I also read in this book how it was made, so it's interesting to know first which instruments were used, which console, which recorder, how the microphones were placed in the room, and what feeling they wanted to give in this album. And I tried to make this video during the day, and I couldn't, because I think it's a subject that you can only speak about in the night. So maybe because it was recorded almost in the dark all the time, so it has a very night feeling, and I think that's the only moment I could talk about it. It was during the night. So if you want more details about this album and what Hollis wanted to convey in this album, I think first you should check Snow in Berlin, the website, because there are a lot of articles about this album, and it will give you absolutely the essential. I don't see how you can know better than on this website. Secondly, read the lyrics. Honestly, I read the lyrics. I don't understand all, and what I understand is not necessarily what Hollis wanted to say. So I'm going to tell you my feeling. It doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that you must believe me, or that what I say it's exactly that. No, maybe I'm completely wrong. I have a very visual understanding about the songs, because as I paint, of course, when I listen to music, and when it's some music that I like or that I love, and when the music is talking to me really by giving me images, it's exactly images that I see that I could maybe translate on a canvas or on something. For me, the best music is the music which evokes images, of course. I'm not going to talk about the lyrics, as I was saying. Before I continue, I want to say that my videos are about a quest regarding Hollis and Tok Tok music, in the aim to translate the songs, in art. I just want to make some paintings, and I'm considering sculpture, paper mache, mosaic, everything that I know how to do. Could be drawing, I don't know, anything that I will feel necessary to use as a medium, I will use. So that is the aim of my videos. My videos are not about talking about the Hollis' private life, or gossips, or about how Hollis is dressed or things like that. I already said it before in other videos, but I say it again because a lot of people are asking me questions of this kind, and that is not my purpose. I'm not talking I don't represent Hollis, okay? I don't know him. We are not writing to each other, we don't phone to each other, we don't send emails to each other, we don't send faxes or smoke signals or flying pigeons. I don't know. No. I just talk for myself, so what I say is not automatically true. It's my translation, my vision, it's personal to me. You may not be interested, and if you are searching for personal information about Hollis, you are not going to find them here. I just want to tell you so you know. Okay, so I will continue on Spirit of Eden. That is the theme of this video. I wanted to say that I understood something more by listening to it. Not that it's incredibly clever. I suppose that a lot of people understood that before me. But I see that like the evolution of life. What I mean? So there are 6 songs. I can't make you listen to everything because I'm not supposed to. Anyway, you can find Spirit of Eden on YouTube, or you can even buy it. It's even better because I really suggest that you listen to it at home. It's much better. And in the calm and in the dark, that is the best way. So there are 6 songs, 6 pieces, I would say. And here is how I see it. The first one is named The Rainbow. So the rainbow, it can be the light, the colors after the rain. I have the feeling that this song is like an announcement, like a birth, like the beginning of life, or like hope, or like something which is renewed. I see something like that. Then I will explain more in detail. I will play it so you will understand better what I mean. The second one is Eden. Everybody needs somebody to live by. That's what he says in the song. So I see this song like the discovery of a person we are going to love, or the research of someone to love. That's how well, Eden, of course, we think paradise, Adam and Eve. So I think it's the beginning of love, something like that. That's what I understand. Not that I understand that by reading the lyrics, no. When I give you my translation, it's really about the music, what I feel in the music. Sometimes I don't even read the lyrics because I don't want my idea to be changed because of the lyrics. But sometimes it's very difficult to ignore the lyrics too, because the lyrics may be a big part of the song. But sometimes the music is so strong that even if he says blah 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 in the song, the music conveys so much that we don't even need the lyrics to understand something, which is very often my case. So then the third song is Desire. So desire is really love. I would say it's like the physical love. That's how I understand it. Well, the title is very clear, and when you read the lyrics, I think it's something like that, obviously. Then the fourth song is Inheritance. So inheritance, for me, it's children. So you see the evolution from the birth to having children. That's what I understand, once again. Then there is this song. The music is wonderful, but the lyrics are very important in this song. It's I Believe in You, and for me it's very about death, the death and the end of life, or the loss of someone. Well, I don't need to explain more. You just read the lyrics and you will understand. And the last one, it's Wealth. So the last one for me, it goes beyond the death. It's after the death. For me, it's a song about the paradise, the life after death. There is something very religious in it. It's like a gospel, I would say. That's how I feel it. Okay, I wanted to give you my translation of the evolution of the songs, but the reason why I love this album, it's chiefly because it reminds me my childhood. As Laughing Stock actually, but here it's more before. I would say Laughing Stock, it's more 70s, mid 70s. This is more end of 60s, mid end of 60s. It's sooner. So I was younger, I was smaller, but this is something that I could have heard when I was a child, when I was very small. I'm not going to give you my age. We never ask the age of a woman. Anyway, I can tell you that I'm not 20 years old. I'm old enough to remember this. This didn't exist when I was a child, but it could have been. Every time I listen to this album, I am like if I was thrown back in my childhood. And every time I listen to that, it makes me cry. And the other day I thought, okay, I'm going to listen to it in the morning when I'm in a very bad mood. Usually in the morning I'm not very good. So I thought, oh, I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to see how I feel it when I'm in a very bad mood. So I put it on my iPhone, which is not really a very good quality to listen to music. In my bathroom, I was under the shower, listened to that, I started crying, like usually, as every time I listen to that, I'm crying. And then I went to my kitchen, I prepared the breakfast, I listened to that, crying again. And I started thinking, okay, now it's enough. I must understand why it is making me cry. Why I'm crying on this every time I listen to it. Why? So why? Because it reminds me the song of my childhood. Okay, so what's wrong with the songs of my childhood? Why am I crying? There was nothing sad at that period, at least for me. And then I thought, okay, I must think of the first thing which comes to my mind. Why does it make me cry? Why the music of the 60s makes me cry? And I thought, because there is something that I didn't finish when I was a child, and it was that period. I didn't have the time to achieve something. Wow, interesting. So well, interesting for me. I suppose you don't care at all about what I'm saying, but anyway, it was interesting for me because suddenly I realized that there was something unfinished for me in the 60s. And what it was, what I was doing in the 60s when I was such a young kid, listening to these things like, for example, A Whiter Shade of Pale, Procol Harum, The Rare Birds, Sympathy, that was maybe a little later, The Beatles, The Rolling Stones, the Pink Floyd, I think it was, no, the Pink Floyd, yes. Yeah, I was a very young child, but I was listening to that. I was listening to Johnny Rivers singing John Lee Hooker. I was listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival, and I was, yeah, that was maybe a little later. I was a very young child when I was listening to all these things. And you know what I was doing then? I was a child, I was not working. I was drawing and painting on the music already. And I think that the psychedelic, blues, jazz, uh, rock music of that period was the perfect music to fit with my uh, painting or my drawings. And then, little by little, we moved to the disco, and then the punk music, and then it was something else, but I didn't have the time to develop my art in this movement and this thing. And I was always regretting that. And I started thinking that maybe, and I'm not saying that I'm right, it's my own explanation. Maybe Marcolis did this album because he had something to finish with these years, 60s. Maybe he had something to accomplish, to create about that. And he continued with Laughing Stock, and with his solo album he went even further, sooner in time, I would say. But you see, he managed to do it. He reached what he wanted to accomplish and to recreate. And that's why this music is talking to me, because he did what I didn't do, what I didn't have the time to do. I didn't finish what I was doing. That is probably why I've been painting about the Doors, about Jim Morrison, about Keith Moon. That is probably why I moved to Los Angeles. That is probably why I'm doing videos about Marcolis, because Marcolis is speaking my language. Actually, I'm speaking his, more exactly. So what he says talks to me and goes directly to my heart. And I understood all this thanks to that, to this music, this album that I recommend really sincerely. I love it. I really love it.